Animation has more than potential to add to the economy of Uganda.
I know animation is the future, really.
There's a lot that comes to my mind, but it's all good stuff.
It's an unstoppable medium. It is here. It has young, visionary artists like I in it. The future is very bright. 2000, I think it is when I first saw visuals of Lion King. They intrigued me so much. That is when I made the decision. So 2000, I don't remember what age that was, but I think I was in primary 3. So I took the decision to venture into this medium. It intrigued me. I didn't know how they did it. Cartoon Network, that is something we've grown up watching. And I decided I wanted to do that stuff.
My journey in animation began out when I was in my senior 6 vacation. That is about 2012. I met someone who was already in the field, and he thought actually it could be good for me.
I was someone who was inquisitive. I wanted something new, something interesting, something that I didn't know anything about. So when they introduced 3D animation to me, I was like, wow. I was like, I think I need to venture out and find out what this is all about.
Animation comes from illustration art, making cartoons. So that's when I got into drawing. I had a brother of mine who was a very good drawer. He inspired me to actually start drawing. Here I am, 5 years into animation.
I was introduced to animation like 5 years ago. When I entered the industry, that's what I found everyone talking about. But like, women can't do animation, or like, animation is not for women. I knew that was just a mentality.
Just the mere fact of being a lady, you look down on. First impressions, they're like, what can you do? What can you produce?
I loved what I found. So it gave me even the passion to pursue more, to research more.
My first project was an internship project. Yeah, I remember the music, the whole thing was nice. Since I do music too, I had to come up with something original in terms of songs, and the thing came out pretty well.
The first project was Uganda at 50. Yeah, at the time, I think Uganda was celebrating 50 years of independence, and I decided to piece something together. I didn't know much, but I used what I had at the moment to put together a storyline.
When you see your work running on a screen or a TV station, or when you hear people talking about your work, you get encouraged.
Market organized by the UCC, we call it the Uganda Film Festival. It has also quite been a big help. I think they were the first festival to really openly, at a larger scale, exhibit animation and actually award it. And this has been an eye-opening area for most government agencies and a number of animation users.
I really laugh at anyone who doesn't watch animations. They tell a lot about life. There are a lot of themes that are conveyed, a lot of lessons, life lessons that are needed.
Most of the things that I see, animation will be required. Medical to educational.
Political issues that are actually tackled in there.
I have seen him on WhatsApp.
If someone tried to convey that message on a TV station, on a political program, I would easily get onto my phone and do something else. But the same message is conveyed in animation, and I'm actually, wow, I actually get interested in knowing about my surrounding. How is the political sector of my country? How is it? How is the economic sector of my country? Why? It has been sparked by, something that came as entertainment, but it's edutainment.
We have things like Ebola, things like that, and the ministries are struggling to pass this information. Simple things as nutrition, it's still a problem to pass information, and Ugandans can't read.
What drives animation is story. Everybody loves telling stories. So when young artists like us start conveying these stories through comic books, because I'm a comic book artist too, good stories will inspire animation. They kind of feed the animation medium.
We're talking about game development, we're talking about VR content. It's big.
Companies are going to get better services for advertisements. There's going to be more content on TV for our children to watch.
It's a medium whereby a child will enjoy it, because, come on, cartoons, there's a way cartoons are made in a way that they're neutral, they're universal. It's a universal visual. Like it doesn't, the face of a cartoon doesn't look like anybody else. So you can easily feel like you are it. And that is the reason actually why we are naturally, we can actually find a bond to it.
Countries like Malaysia, how do they develop? They capitalized on outsourced work, and most of their work is this virtual work. It's animation content.
I think right now we have something that could compete. What I saw out there, Kalabanda ate my homework by the Creatures team. Those guys did a good job, but still, it was short. But now, if those guys had more labor, let's say if they came together with a Lupe and looked up some other individual animators, gotten together with Agape, I think it would have been a bit bigger or better.
A single film in the UK or in the US is done by about 15 studios around the world. And sometimes they just need a studio in Uganda to just model characters. And they're paying very good money.
It's something that we have not been nurtured into as Ugandans. Why? Because our education system doesn't support it.
As a tutor, I interact with a lot of students. And trust me, each time a parent hears a child is going to do animation, usually their reaction is like, what? Who employs animators? Where do you study animation?
Animation, that is something alien in school. And here I am, I have to wait for 16 years to get down with school so that I may go maybe to the university to find what I'm passionate about.
For the government, actually, the area I would encourage the government to look at is how can we apply animation in the academia?
Imagine if you started animation like maybe even in primary. By the time you get in secondary, it is much easier because now we are starting it at an old stage and it is something that requires a lot of time.
I used to draw in my classroom when the teacher was teaching. I don't want to say that whatever the teacher was teaching was relevant. It was relevant. But there was something else I wanted to do specifically. And it's shocking that it is something that I am feeding on today. It needs to be encouraged from childhood because this is where every skill is nurtured. You can't nurture and become really outstandingly skilled at a later age. It has to be nurtured from childhood.
The mere fact that we are young, we are youths, we do not yet have the money to start out big.
We are planning to open up a school, a drawing school. The vision is really big. We don't have our financial muscle to that level, but we are planning to actually open up a school. We are giving a child skill that is going to be earning off.
If we could concentrate on developing a system which can encourage investment. Somebody doesn't have to be an animator to invest in animation.
We try to pitch the medium to them through various ways like advertising. They're really skeptical. And when they inquire about how much it is and like how much it would cost, animation is an expensive medium. They easily run away.
If we are going to push this industry forward and keep it growing, then finances are needed.
The government is struggling with one thing. How do you employ youth? Now, most youth are not the kind of people who work behind desks. They want something exciting, something exhilarating. And the animation offers that.
Animation has the potential to offer employment for so many people.
A 3D floor plan, you render 2 images for someone, and each image is 150,000.
The few deals that I've been able to get as an artist, they usually come when they are a bit, well paying.
I'm confident somebody can live onto animation. It's a career worth pursuing, and when you pursue it, you can live off it. There's so much you can do.
It can also be an export because you can sell content even in outside countries.
Content is the future, whether it's for TV or for online content or things like that. Content is the future.
The whole world is pointing at Africa, wondering what is coming out, like what is Africa cooking? We have these diverse culture norms and stuff like that. And animation is one of the ways to actually to be used as a tool to convey and brand our countries and brand our culture in a really interesting way. And at the end of the day, we are attracting tourists into Africa. And when we attract tourists, that is money for the economy.
As we are encouraging youth to go into agriculture and all that, actually animation is the other field that actually the government can look at. We have looked at its potential, and the potential is there. The youth are interested in something, good, and the animation cuts across a number of fields. It has the ability to educate. When you talk about content now, I've seen people distributing tablets for children with content. There are studios who are just specialized in creating that content. TVs are lacking local content. Everywhere you look, they're lacking local content. And there are studios who are just positioned to create content. So the youth, if we give the animation industry priority and give it attention, we are looking at the employment levels ranging to 10,000 to 20,000 youth in employment every 2 years.
The youth already love it, but they don't have a platform.
This is an industry that is going to grow, and it is going to put Uganda on the map.
The government should invest in the areas of sensitization and education using animation. That's one of the best ways they can work with animators or with multimedia artists, and at the same time improve the economy.
Yeah.